So my question to black people is, do you still listen to R. Kelly, right? Everything that he's been convicted of, the tape, we know the scandals. My question to you, black America, is do you play R. Kelly willingly, right? Do you still have a playlist that has R. Kelly on it? If I go through your recently played songs on Apple Music, do you have a song on there from R. Kelly, right? Me personally, I can't listen to his music, bro. I can't willingly. I tried to, and let me see if I can separate the man from the art. I can't do it, right? Like, I can't willingly listen to someone who I know was a child molester. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, it don't sound the same to me no more. I just can't listen to it. Now, if it comes on, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm not going to have a trauma attack. You know what I mean? So if it come on like you go to Chicago, you go to Northwest Indiana, you're going to hear R. Kelly on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chicago, they like, hey, we ain't giving up this music, bro. Broke and burned in hell for what he did to them kids, but Chicago folks is not giving up that music. You would be in Chicago and hear the Ignition remix. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 2003. Like, they not giving up the music. And I respect that preference. But me personally, I can't separate the man from the artist. But it's certain towns you're going to go to, you're going to hear some R. Kelly. Like, you go to Chicago, you go to Northwest Indiana, that get that Chicago radius radio. Even the Hammond radio station, they going to play some R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you going to hear Step in the Name of Love 4 times in a 2-day weekend. Straight up. So we got to be honest about it. You go to Detroit, you go to that, you pull up to one of them nice hotels on the waterfront close to Canada. You know, Detroit, everywhere you go, it's like 5 parties going on a Wednesday. So you be by that hotel district, that casino district, you gonna hear Frankie Beverly and Maze coming out of one hotel. You gonna hear probably some Keith Sweat, Make It Last Forever, coming out of hotel. You probably gonna get some gospel. You gonna get some R. Kelly as you walk. And then you probably get some 42 Doug or something, you know what I'm saying? Some Babyface Ray or something. But you gonna still hear some R. Kelly when you make that walk. If you go to one of the Detroit hotels. Atlanta, you might hear some R. Kelly, you somewhere. And I don't judge black people who separate the man from the art. You know what I mean? I had this discussion with my friends, and I got good friends that I respect, you know what I mean, that I trust. And they like, I separate the man from the art so I can enjoy the art without whatever the guilty sins is of the person. And I respect that. That's a preference. So that's why I'm bringing that discussion to y'all. I really like to know, do you still listen to R. Kelly? Do you still? Now, for me, Mystikal is an absolute no. Like, I don't, come on, bro. You a tree jumper, bro. You assault women. You violating women. Like, I couldn't respect nobody that played Mystikal, right? But I just said I could tolerate somebody play R. Kelly. You see how them preferences go? That's why you shouldn't get mad about other people's preferences, because yours may not never align, and you're going to have a lot of bad friendships if you only be friends with people who had the same preferences as you. But me, I can't listen to Mystikal at all. I have no respect for what he did. I have no respect for what R. Kelly did either. So I can't listen to him. But if it's Mystikal, it'd probably be the same. You're just not hearing him as much. You don't hear his shit on the radio nowhere, right? So if I'm somewhere and What You Think, come on, I'm playing About It soundtrack and I forgot about it, but I ain't gonna go back. Like, I used to play, before he got in trouble, I used to play that shit 4 or 5 times. So if it hit me and I think about it, I'm like, oh, this fucking Mystikal. I'm gonna actually skip the song, because it's just like, any violation of any sexual deviant to me, I just abhor the contact, the whole concept of it. Especially me just being, a dude who valued his mom so much, and my dad. I don't like niggas who sexually assault women. I despise them. So, Mystikal's a definite no, but I wasn't never no big Mystikal fan anyway, so it was easy to be like, fuck Mystikal and his music when the nigga got arrested. But even if I was a big fan, I wouldn't listen to his shit. But that would be a good question for somebody in Louisiana, somebody from New Orleans. Like, do you still listen to Mystikal? I'm sure I got some people listen to this in the South. You know what I mean? Somebody in the South, somebody from New Orleans. I'm not mad at your preference, but I couldn't do it. But if you do it, like, hey, I mean, that's not something I'm going to argue with somebody about. But me, I just feel like once I decide you deplorable, you deplorable. You know what I mean?